Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to stand before you today, not just as a speaker, but as a fellow traveler on this wild, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying journey called life. Each one of you is here because you carry something extraordinary within you. A dream, a spark, a vision that lights up your soul, even on the darkest days. And yet, how often do we let that light dim? How often do we stand at the edge of what could be, only to turn back because a quiet voice whispers, "You can't." Today, I'm here to silence that voice. I'm here to tell you that you can. You have a fearless heart, and with it, you can conquer your doubts one dream at a time. Let's start with a question. What's your dream? Take a moment. Close your eyes if you need to. See it clearly. Is it a grand stage where you inspire thousands? A business that changes lives? A family you build with love and strength? Or maybe it's something softer, something personal, finding peace within yourself, breaking free from the weight of your past, or simply waking up each day believing you're enough. Whatever it is, that dream is yours. It's not a random thought or a fleeting wish. It's a calling, and no one, not even the loudest doubt in your mind, has the right to take it away from you. But let's be real. Dreams are not easy. They don't arrive on your doorstep with a smile and a handshake. They're messy, they're hard. They demand everything you've got, and then some. Dreams are forged in the heat of struggle, shaped by the relentless pounding of effort, and polished by the courage to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. And the first battle we face, doubt, that sneaky, shadowy thief that slips into our minds when we're tired, when we're alone, when we're vulnerable. It tells us we'll fail. It tells us we're not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. Doubt doesn't just challenge our dreams, it tries to bury them. But here's the good news, doubt doesn't have to win. You have a weapon stronger than any fear, sharper than any uncertainty. You have a fearless heart. And today, we're going to unleash it. Think about the dreamers who came before us, those who turned impossible into I did it. Take Thomas Edison. The man failed over 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. 1,000 times. Can you imagine the doubts he faced? The nights he sat in the dark, wondering if he was wasting his life. But he didn't stop. Or consider J.K. Rowling, a single mother scribbling stories in a cafe, rejected by publisher after publisher. She could have listened to the doubt that said, "No one will read this." But she didn't. She kept writing, kept believing, kept dreaming. What made them different? It wasn't just talent or luck. It was their fearless hearts, hearts that refused to bow to doubt. Hearts that took one small step forward, then another, until the world couldn't ignore them anymore. Now, come on. I can hear some of you thinking, that's them. I'm not an inventor. I'm not a writer. I'm just me. And that's where you're wrong. Not about being you, but about the just. You are not just anything. You are a force. You're a force. You are a story waiting to be told. You don't need to be Edison or Rowling to conquer your doubts. You don't need a fancy title or a perfect plan. You just need to start right here, right now, exactly as you are. Because a fearless heart is about never feeling fear. It's not about silencing doubt forever. It's about the fear, hearing the doubt, and saying, "I'm going anyway." Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I met a young woman named Priya. Priya grew up in a tiny village where dreams were considered luxuries, things for other people, not for someone like her. She wanted to be a doctor, but the odds were stacked against her. Her family said it was impossible. Girls didn't become doctors where she was from. Her teachers laughed at her ambition, telling her she'd never pass the exams. And when she failed her first medical entrance test, that voice of doubt roared in her ears. "You're done, give up." But Priya had something doubt couldn't touch. She had a fearless heart. She studied by candlelight when the electricity failed. She walked miles to borrow textbooks from a neighboring town. She failed again and got back up again. One exam at a time, one dream at a time, she fought her way forward. Today, Priya is the first doctor her village has ever seen. She's not just healing bodies, she's healing hope, showing every child in her community that dreams aren't just for the lucky, they're for the fearless. What's your candlelight? What's that small, stubborn flame that keeps burning inside you, even when the world tries to snuff it out? Maybe it's a memory of someone who believed in you when no one else did. Maybe it's a promise you made to yourself as a child before life taught you to doubt. Maybe it's the quiet strength you feel when you look in the mirror and say, I'm still here. Hold on to that flame, nurture it, because that's the heartbeat of a fearless heart, and it's going to carry you further than you can imagine. But let's dig deeper. Doubt isn't just a feeling, it's a habit. It's a pattern we fall into when we let fear call the shots. So how we break it, how do we conquer it? One dream at a time. Let me give you a roadmap, 3 steps to start building that fearless heart today. First, name your doubt. Don't let it hide in the shadows, growing stronger with every whisper. Call it out. Is it fear of failure? Fear of what others will think? Fear that you're too late, too old, too broken? Write it down. Say it out loud. Look it in the eye and tell it, you don't own me. When you name your doubt, you strip it of its power. It's no longer a monster. It's just a thought, and thoughts can be changed. Second, break your dream into pieces. Too often we look at our dreams and see a mountain so tall it paralyzes us. But you don't have to climb the whole thing today. Just take one step. Want to start a business? Don't worry about the empire. Write a single page of your plan. Want to run a marathon? Don't stress about the finish line. Put on your shoes and jog to the corner. Want to mend a broken relationship? Don't try to fix it all at once. Send one kind message. Small wins are the bricks that build a fearless heart. Every time you take a step, you prove to yourself, I can do this. And that proof, it's stronger than any doubt. Third, surround yourself with believers. Doubt loves isolation. It thrives when we're alone, when we're cut off from the people who see our potential. Find your tribe. Find the ones who lift you up, who cheer you on, who remind you of your strength when you forget. They don't have to be many, just 1 or 2 voices that say, I believe in you. Because courage doesn't grow in a vacuum. It grows in connection, in love, in the shared heartbeat of those who dare to dream alongside Ya. Let me tell you another story. There was a man named Jian, a mechanic in a small town. Jian loved music. He dreamed of playing the guitar on a stage, sharing his songs with the world. But doubt had him in a chokehold. He'd never had lessons. He didn't know how to read music. And every time he picked up his old battered guitar, he heard his father's voice. Stick to fixing cars. Music's for dreamers, not workers. For years, he listened to that doubt. But one day, something shifted. He saw a street musician playing for a crowd, and that fearless heart inside him woke up. He started practicing 10 minutes a day, then 20, then hours. He saved up for lessons. He played for his friends, then at a local cafe, then at bigger venues. Last year, I saw Jian perform in front of hundreds. His fingers flying across the strings, his voice raw and alive. He told me later, it wasn't about being perfect. It was about starting, 1 note at a time. What's your first note? What's the smallest, simplest thing you can do today to move toward your dream? Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Don't wait for the doubt to disappear. It won't. Start where you stand. Start with what you have, because a fearless heart doesn't wait for permission. It creates its own path. Now, I want you to imagine something with me. Picture yourself a year from now. You've taken those steps. You've named your doubts and walked right through them. You've built something. Maybe it's a project. Maybe it's a new version of yourself. You're standing taller, smiling brighter, because you didn't give up. That version of you isn't a dream, it's a destiny. But it starts today. It starts with one choice: to trust your fearless heart. Let me leave you with this. Life is too short to let doubt write your story. Your dreams are too precious to let fear hold the pen. You are not here by accident. You are here because you have something to give, something to chase, something to become. So rise up, take that first step, conquer that first doubt, and then the next, and the next, and the next. One dream at a time, you'll build a life that sings with courage, that shines with purpose, that dances with joy. You have a fearless heart. Let it beat, let it fight, let it soar. The world isn't just waiting for you, it needs you. So go out there and show it what you've got. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Success Mindset.